TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. I want to talk about sovereignty, and I want to paint a picture for my FBA community of a custody battle. And this custody battle happens between the United States of America and the AU, the African Union, and why they are allowed to claim us as the sixth region and ultimately collect funding on our behalf. Like I said, I want you to think of us as minors. We are not adults because we have not emancipated ourselves from our birth certificate that our parents signed. If you do not do it before you're 18 or on your 18th birthday, I think it has to be before 18, or you can do it at any point, but it's easier, I think it is, if you do it before you're 18, to emancipate yourself, to say, no, I am the living, breathing creation of God, Yahuwah, and I am not my straw man. This is like the straw man stuff. If you guys know, you know. And for entertainment purposes only, again, I'm going to have to keep saying that. So this custody battle between the United States and the AU. So in order for the United States to take the AU seriously, they have to have articles of organization presenting themselves as adults, able to think and to move and to make decisions on their own. These have to be emancipated. At least the person at the very top has to be an emancipated person, and maybe other people under him are not, and they can work for him, or they can, organize underneath his umbrella. But there has to be an adult present to talk to an adult, and we are not adults because we never emancipated ourselves. We never claimed our sovereignty or our status in this particular country. So what the AU was able to do is say, hey, I'm that baby's pappy. And you guys, even though you have him, you do know you got him from over here, right? You do know that his DNA, according to you, is our DNA. They are even called African American. So they are our people. And so we want to claim them as the sixth region. Even though they reside in your region, we're going to claim them as Africa's sixth region. Therefore, giving them a seat at the table, because we, as a people, we are minors. We don't have a say-so. All of this talking and all of these things that we're doing right now, it gets attention on it, but ultimately, until there is a gatekeeper that is trustworthy, multiple gatekeepers that are trustworthy and know how to defend and know about sovereignty, or know about, at the very least, articles of organization, so they can talk as an adult and be taken seriously on our behalf, we're not going to go very far with this argument unless every single person starts to emancipate themselves, and then we can move as a group. But they make it a little difficult to emancipate yourself, and it's not difficult, it's just that if you do not know how to defend, you will get put under the jail. And this is the reason why I have not gone on my journey to claim my sovereignty, because Black's Dictionary and learning a new language and knowing how to defend, it's a bit much for my personality. I'm pretty laid back. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm pretty laid back. I'm pretty goofy and silly and random. And it's not that I can't do it, I just don't want to. I have participated in some things, but that part right there, being able to travel without a driver's license, and all of that stuff that comes along with it, they still might take you to jail. And that's why I said they're going to test you. So if you don't know how to defend according to law and the language of law, the real language, we speak one language and then there's another language that we do not speak. And even though the person you're talking to, they might know, well, you didn't describe it to a T, but if you do not know what it's called, if you do not know how it's organized, they're going to pretend like they don't know what you're talking about. You have to know what you know, what you know, what you know, what you know, what you know. You basically have to be a law student. You have to be some kind of studious, super, law student, unless you want to be fighting all the time, because they're going to try you. And you're going to fight all the time even if you do know. And I don't want to do that. So back to what I was saying. So this is how the African Union is able to claim ownership of us as minors. And when there's a custody battle going on, if there's some kind of award, cash reward from one parent to another, you don't give it to the child. We are the children. The reparations will never be handed to us directly. We have to have a fiduciary, or we have to have some kind of parent, some kind of article of organization that represents us. We cannot talk directly to the powers that be. We can't, and that's the only way they deal. They only deal the way they deal. They're not going to make an exception because you're intelligent, you're smart, you might be brilliant, but unless you go through the right channels, we are considered minors, or we are a minority. We are considered minors, and that's white people, black people, all the people here. We're minorities. Okay, there's a different system and a different universe, a different language that you have to know. So the African Union, able to claim us as a diaspora, because they're speaking in a way that makes them recognized as adults. They have the paperwork, they understand the laws, they understand how things work. So if you're curious as to how they're able to siphon that $65 million billion, by the way, unpacked with Queen Janice on YouTube. She has receipts, and she be dog walking that information down. So if you want somebody who can give it to you a little bit more studious than I can, because I can talk, but I'm not going to do the research for you. She will show you screens and informations and tell you where to look most of the time. So since I started watching her for this week, and also she's on here. Her name is just Queen Janice on here. I suggest you go give her a follow. I'll tag her below. But yeah, this is why they're able to claim us, and we can't do anything about it unless we have trustworthy leadership. And as I stated before, Jesse Jackson was not trustworthy leadership because he was a fiduciary, and Jesse Jackson and everybody else, Sharpton, all of them are fiduciaries. They know how to speak that language. But unfortunately, in my opinion, they've been bought out. They've protected their own self-interest. And this might be for a lot of reasons. It might not just because they're terrible people. This government plays ruthlessly with people. So you either go this way, or I caught you right here doing or saying, or I'm going to expose. There's a lot of that going on in this world. So sometimes people got to do what they got to do, and sometimes people are just greedy. I don't know which one it is. It's not for me to decide. Yahuwah is on the throne. So it's all going to be revealed anyways. But if you're interested in knowing why they're able to do that, that's why.